All right, since it's already 11 o'clock, I think we can start now. All right, hello everyone and good morning. Welcome to our Excel Academy Learning Hour session. I'm Adib and I'm delighted to be a host for today's session. We are honored to have our expert speaker, TS Rajendren Subramaniam, who will be sharing valuable insights on prompting like a pro, from blind prompts to precision results. All right. Right, during the session, please feel free to ask questions in the chat box below. TS Rajendran will address the question from time to time or at the end of the session. As a reminder, please keep your microphones muted throughout the session to avoid any disruptions. Without further ado, I hand over the floor to TS Rajendran.
Thanks. Thanks, Adip.
Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is fine. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me know when you are able to see my screen. All right. Okay. And so you're able to see my screen and my slide is there you go. Okay. Just before we start, quickly just type in your name. I just wanted to make sure that who are the people that I'm talking to because we do not have a video, your video. So in the chat box, are you allowed to type something on the chat box? Can you type in the chat box? Just type your name. All right, Alicia. Who else? Alicia. Only one person. Tong. Tong. All right. Anybody else? Okay. We got two people. All right. Oh, and we have third person, Hillary Hugh. All right. Okay. We have three people. Anybody else? Okay, fine. Because sometimes people do connect and after that they don't really follow. Okay, that's the reason. So at least I know there are three people following. Even your video is not there. Okay, so I think everybody is quite familiar with utilizing ChatGPT, Gemini, and there are so many other tools available outside that. And it has become like our daily operational or daily activities. Okay, everything also we will start picking up our phone and then we start uh, asking everything. So we are at what we have reached a stage whereby we are not much using Google at the moment. So everything ChatGPT can give you us, okay, and give us much better than Google. All right. The reason is when you go to the Google and you go do the searching, it will only search Google. But when you do the searching on ChatGPT or Gemini, it will go and search the entire um, internet. Okay, and it will search Google, it will search Yahoo, and it will search Microsoft Bing, and it will search everywhere. Okay, and then based on the search result, it will do some analysis of the data using the LLM model, and then gives you the result that you wanted. For us, we are not going deep into how scientifically how it works, but we are more focusing on how to prompt only for today. Okay, so the objective is how to get the accurate results, how to get an accurate result based on what you prompt. Okay, and how do we prompt effectively? Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, our objective is to often to say that why AI fails. Some often we used to say, "Hey, I asked something and but AI giving me something else." Okay, this is not accurately what I wanted. Okay, so that is the one of the concerns that we have. And then we also will look into blind and precision prompts. Okay, blind prompts means we just simply ask something. All right. When we are communicating with human being among ourselves, when we ask something, uh, the other party always, it's quite common that we human being get misunderstand each other. How about a machine? AI is just a machine. It's not a human being to think, able to think what you are thinking. Okay, so we have to be like very accurate. Okay, um, in our normal communication, let's say they use the word jom. Okay, jom, let's go. Macam tu ke, ataupun you may have some kind of a code word among yourself. Uh, bash, macam tu. Bash means let's go. Artinya, okay. But AI machine will not know that kind of words. Okay. And also when you may even use a hand sign and you use a word, but you again you'll use a hand sign. So machines will not know. Okay, so that's the reason when you are prompting AI, when you are doing using a chat GPT or Gemini and so on, so you need to be accurate. That's why they call it precise prompts. Okay, so so we need to, in this objective, we need to understand why most AI fail, and then we differentiate between blind prompts and precision prompts and apply structured prompting framework. So there is a proper structured method how we need to do the prompting. Okay, and then improve result through live prompting refinement. Live prompting refinement means you prompt and ChatGPT give you something, and then you prompt again, you keep on prompt until you get what you wanted. That is the skills. That is your skills. You need to be like keep on prompting until that's what they mean by the life refinement exercise. Okay, and why we can use this for our daily our research work, daily office work, and also daily problem solving related methods. And we can use for many things. Okay, I'm sure that you have done this before. Okay, uh, why AI feels smart but fails? Okay, AI, we know that everything is AI can be able to answer, tapi uh, but it will have, but sometimes it's wrong. Okay, one of the reason is our question or the answer that that we frustrated us is just giving us a generic answers. Okay, and then wrong assumptions. Okay, giving us it assumed something else. Okay, it's not what you wanted, and then it will cost you a shallow or inaccurate responses. Okay, too verbose or too short or very vague response that it will give. Okay, so in this case, actually the AI is not wrong. The prompt is incomplete. That's the reason. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Okay, how AI responds? AI is not AI does not think like a human. It doesn't understand your intent automatically. Okay, and it doesn't know your context unless you tell it. Okay, so human being will understand. Okay, the all those things, but machine will not. Okay, so how AI works is it will predict responses based on input patterns. Okay, the pattern of how you are putting in, that's how it will get the response. It will follow structure extremely well. Okay, and it improves dramatically with better instruction. So when we give a clearer instruction, it will improve, keep improving. Okay, that's how AI works. Okay, so blind prompt means you simply ask something. Okay, it always a vague, context-free instruction with unclear expectation. Okay, explain like example like explain what is blockchain, summarize this article, write a proposal. Examples. Then the result will be too generic. Okay, and it will be too broad, often unusable. Okay, now I want you to participate as well. See how many of you active. Can you type in the chat box some examples of prompts that you have lately given? Okay, even if it's complex also, it's okay because I just wanted to know how familiar are you in prompting. Okay. Can you just type something in the chat box? Quick, 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 because we only have 1 hour time and we have to do it. Okay, this is to the reason I'm asking you to type in because I just wanted to make sure you're following. Otherwise, I do not want to talk to the wall. Just type because I know. All right. I usually prompting like I'm having a conversation with a friend. Okay, that is Hadi. How about others? That's good. Give some example, just example. Contohnya, in fact, I already have this. All right, Tong responded, like I'm searching on Google. Okay, give some example. Contoh, like I put here an example, explain blockchain, summarize this article, write the research proposal. Okay, anybody else? Okay, create a table for my trip to Korea on budget and days to which places to visit. Very good, Alicia. Okay. All right. So, all right. This is like help me creating a social media description to do posting for Christmas celebration. Very good. Okay. So this is how we normally we used to do it, lah. Okay. And of course, we will get some response and answer. Sometimes if we are satisfied, then it's well and good. Okay. Sometimes we will not be satisfied. Okay. Sometimes we will not be satisfied because the answer is not what we wanted. Okay, so and of course this we refer it as a blind prompts. Okay, blind prompts can be accurate also. Okay, not necessary blind prompt means always wrong. Okay, not it's not like that. So blind prompts also you may get your result. Okay, example, when you go out and you ask your friend, you ask you ask a question A, but your friend answer for question B, but you still get the answer for question A. Macam tu. But you wanted, you already get it. Okay, so that's how AI also, you may even sometimes you throw a blind question, blindly you prompt, you may still get the response that you wanted. Okay. Precision prompt means meaning it's a clear role. Clear role means um, to opposite to the blind prompts. It will we will tell the role of the AI. Okay, and then a structured prompt that includes context, role, goal, and constraints. Okay, so that is what in the combination of all those this for clear role, defined goal, constraints, and the format that we are expecting. Okay, that's what will make that's the meaning of precision prompts. Okay, example is, for example, earlier in my previous slide, I gave explain blockchain. Now I'm going to tell explain blockchain to a postgraduate engineering student using real world supply chain example in under 300 words with one diagram description. Okay, so now you see here the entire words from explain blockchain compared to explain blockchain to a postgraduate engineering student using real world supply chain example in under 300 words with one diagram description. Okay, so here the result will be focused, relevant, and high quality. Okay, so that's what we will get from here. Okay, here we'll show you some examples, examples of prompts, examples of prompts whereby I just take like about the 10 examples lah. Some is like the technique is different 10 techniques lah. Role prompting, explicit context setup, input output example, iterative chaining, debug with simulation, future blueprint printing, okay, something like that lah. So it's just like contoh saja lah. I have already shown in the screen. Okay. I will not go into detail one by one. Okay. If necessary, we can always come back to this slide. Okay. This is just an examples lah, contoh, but not limited to this. But this is just to show why prompt structure matters. Okay. So instead of simply blindly throwing a question, we need to structure the question in a proper way so that AI will understand. So that's the objective. Okay. Let me move on to the next slide. Okay. And then this is another from structure matters, another example whereby if it's a role playing, okay, you need to say example like you are an expert in what field. So you need to tell who you are talking to first. Okay, known for key adjective. So key adjective is, you, for example, you are an expert in computer science, known for um, lecturing, maybe, or known for artificial intelligence, something like that. Help me with, then you give the what to ask. So it means you will tell the role of the AI first. Okay, so similarly, emotion prompting example. Help me, you ask for the task first. Make sure attribute. So make sure it is emotional. It is anger. Okay, for example, you want to send a message to your partner lah. Okay, so the way that you talk to your partner and the way that you talk to your boss is different. Kan? Okay. So partner means your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that lah. Okay. Then you wanted to compose a message. Then after you put in, then you say, make sure apa ni, be lovingly. Okay. So you cannot do that to your boss lah. Okay. To your boss, make my question, make it more lovingly. That one is different already lah. So this is the thing, that emotional prompt that you can put in and so on. Okay. So these are the different examples. I just pick example, lima examples saja, 5 examples. So you can look at it later. Okay. If I go one by one, then maybe time is not enough. Okay, another example, I got it. Okay, observe. Okay, benefit of this is actually Opus framework. Somebody else introduced this. Okay, then I find it that okay, fine. This is also another way of prompting. Okay, observe, mean analyze example similar to a desired input. Okay, there are a few steps over here. All right, so we are not getting into too deep into it, but again, this is somebody else introduced. So similarly, in the industry, in the market, there are many people introduce different types of framework in the market. Okay, so which we can follow. But again, I will come to a few steps that we will be utilizing later lah. Okay, so this is another analogy. Okay, for precision prompts, what professional do, definition. Okay, structured prompt that include context, role, and constraints. Um, for example, explain blockchain to, for example, which I gave just now, sama juga, explain blockchain to a postgraduate engineering student using a real world supply chain example. Okay, under 300. So here I have all those things so that it gives the focus, relevant, and quality result. So if you noted in this diagram here, we have instructional prompts, system messages, explicit bias. This example from another party, multiple turn interaction, contextual prompt, control codes, okay, prompt turning, few shots, okay. All right. So why I showed this example, the previous examples all, okay, what other peoples are doing outside there. Okay. So end of the day, better instruction will give you a clearer output. Okay. And a very powerful intern, something like it can make the AI or the ChatGPT think like very powerful intern, extremely fast. Okay, zero common sense, needs clear instruction. All right. So when you put in all these things together, then you will get what you want, actually. Okay. Now let's get into, despite we have so many examples, the most common thing that the industry practice is, they call it the CRGCF lah. Okay. Context, role, goal, constraints, and format. Okay. Context, role, goal, constraints, and form. This, as long you have these five items inside there, but not always necessary must have all the five element. Okay, you will be able to get a very accurate. So number one, context. Context is a background information. So before you ask a question, so you want to tell ChatGPT or Gemini what exactly some background story behind it. Okay. For example, let's say you are required to to draft a tenancy agreement, contohnya lah. Okay, so some background information you need to talk about what some high level terms and condition, and then some the condition of the house layout, facilities in the house. Okay, all those are background information you need to tell first. Then after that, when you continue with asking a question, then that fellow will draft the entire tenancy agreement perfectly. Okay. It could be like a 10-page tenancy agreement that it will prepare for you. But you have to tell what is the background information. That's the context. Okay, so I'm just okay for this slide. I'll be talking about the tenancy agreement punya example saja. Okay, role will be what will the AI should. In this case, what could be the role will be the AI should act like a lawyer. Okay, a legal advisor who is expert in tenancy agreement. That is the role. Goal. What we want to achieve for a tenancy agreement. Simple as that. Constraints. Constraints, how many, for example, you do not want it to be more than 10 pages, or you wanted to be that, okay, more than 5 pages, macam itu. So, okay, tone, tone for the tenancy agreement, it will be a legal tone. Okay, tone. Those are the constraints. Format, how you want it to be formatted. So you will be telling the, so those are the constraints that you will tell. Okay. And finally, the format, whether you want it to, whether you want the response to be in a table. For example, just now, Alicia did mention, create a table for my trip to Korea on budget and days to which places to visit. Okay, so in this case, she already mentioned that I want a table. Okay, you also can mention want it in the bullet points. Also, you can also mention I want it to be in paragraph and so on. So those are the format. So this is 5 CRGCF. This is the concept that if we follow this, then we'll see what we get. Okay, before it will be not very accurate, not really very good, and after you done accurate the response, then you will get a proper. Okay, don't look at the picture. Picture may be not the best option. Okay, for example, here we given a help me with my research. Too generic, right? Help me with my research. What research? Okay, so the AI will not know. Okay, but of course, it will give you some response. It will give you a response, but may not be what exactly that you want. Okay, and after precision means, you let's say you wanted to have a more precise prompt. Okay, act as a PhD advisor. We wanted to tell who we are talking to lah. So siapa itu AI. Okay, then my topic is blockchain based anti counterfeiting. So you need to tell your topic to them, to AI. Okay, so we are still giving, you are giving a some background, some context. Help me refine my research questions. Okay. Then you provide all the five questions aligned with IEEE style research in bullet point. Contohnya. So when we give in this kind of way, with this method, the response will be more precise, more accurately will be given to you. Okay, compared to the first one. Okay. Uh, another example. So when earlier we did mention about the role play kind. Okay. So you AI will adapt to the tone, the depth and logic of the role that we are asking the AI to be on. Okay, so it means you can tell, um, act as a journal reviewer. Okay, so just now for in the case of Alicia's, I can only have Alicia's example. Uh, okay, I can have. Okay, because I do not get other good examples, so that's the reason I'm using Alicia's example. Okay, so in the case of Alicia's example, this is more like a tour plan or tourist tour plan and so on. Okay, so you in your case you will put it such a way that act as a tourist guide, something like that. Okay, tourist guide. So other example like act as a journal reviewer, act as a senior data analyst, act as a policy advisor for the tenancy agreement. We can say act as a legal advisor or act as a lawyer. Okay, so that is what one of the first technique lah, the role assignment. Okay, then the when it comes to the output constraint, what is the length of the result that we want? Okay, how many pages that you want, whether you want it to be in a bullet point. Okay, tone, what tone that we should use. Okay, very much legal tone and or uh, a humble tone or kind tone or something like that, okay, and then so when we do this, this will be able to like demonstrate a, noise reduction. Unnecessary things will not come into your way. Okay. And other than that, we can also mention about the word count, bullet point versus paragraph, academic versus casual tone. I mean, academic tone or casual tone, table, checklist. Okay. And example will be like respond in two column comparison table with pros and cons. Macam tu. Okay. Something like that. All right. Other than that, reasoning. We also need to look into step by step reasoning. Okay. Uses phrases like think step by step, provide guidelines, explain your reasoning, list assumptions before answering. These are some examples we can give. So this will lead to lesser logical errors, okay, and more transparent answer. Okay, the prompts, in your prompts, if you use these words, think step by step, explain your reasoning, list assumptions before answering. So that kind of examples that you can give. Okay. This is another example for the research productivity. Yeah. Okay. Literature review. So when you're doing a literature review, okay, your prompt will be act as a systematic literature review assistant. I think that will be your first step lah. Assigning a role play topic. What is the topic that we give? NFC plus blockchain in supply chain security, something like that. Identify key themes, research gaps and research trends. Okay, last 5 years and present in a table. Okay, anybody who are going to further your study in the university, okay, you're going to write a thesis nowadays, you can just ask ChatGPT to or AI to write everything lah. But again, um, there is also another tool to detect how you created it. So it's not really that people will not be able to find out what you have done. Okay. All right. Another life example will be work productivity. So in the office communication, now you're working in the office, right? Professional communication. Okay. Um, you're required, this is the prompt, rewrite this WhatsApp message to be polite, firm, and professional, suitable for management level communication under 80 words. I think this is the most common thing that everybody will be using now. Okay, this is the most, because if you noted, based on my experience, okay, in last 30 years in the industry, um, majority of, maybe I would say even 80 to 90% of the messages, whether it's coming from WhatsApp or email, always either not accurate or not polite and so on. So this is very common, very, very common. Okay, I personally did a lot of mistakes like this. Okay, but ever since ChatGPT AI comes in, we no longer make these mistakes. Okay, I think almost everyone uses um, ChatGPT to compose messages. Okay, whether it is a WhatsApp message or, normally once you compose in the WhatsApp messages, after that you copy paste in ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to improve it, and then you copy paste. Okay, that also will show your capability lah. Okay, but again nowadays whenever everybody send me a message on the WhatsApp email, I will know that that message is compiled by uh, AI, because it will be too good. It will be too good to read. Okay, but it's okay. That's why. Okay, then you will get the result will be clear, audience appropriate, time saving, and so on. So these are the standard thing that we will get. Okay, and other example like your daily problem solving, decision making. Prompt help me compare three options based on the cost, risk, and long term benefits. Ask me clarifying questions, okay, before giving recommendation. All right, why this is works, how this is work, because AI fills the gaps before answering. So that's the thing that it will get. So in other words, even if you have because you have already specified it, okay, ask me clarifying question before giving recommendation. So uh, AI will prompt you, okay, some questions. So in other words, if there is any gap that, in other words, sometimes or not sometimes, most often we do not know what we wanted to ask also. Okay, so that's where AI will prompt you until you get the accurate prompt, and then you will be able to respond accordingly, lah. Okay, okay, and so improve. Okay, prompt refinement. Prompt refinement means once you ask the question, it will you will be expect. I mean, the after you getting a response, you can prompt again. You can continue to refine until you get the correct answer. Okay, this is the most common practice I think everybody do, and even I also do the common practice, because before we start prompting, we we may not know how accurately to ask a question. Then the prompt refinement will come into the picture. Okay. Um, okay. It will improve this by something lah. So that's examples. Make it more concise. Okay, you maybe you have drafted a message to send to your boss. Then you will put in these words. Focus more on what? After it responded, then you can tell that. Then you see the message. Hey, this message is not really focusing much on this area. How do I respond to it? Then you have to tell that lah. Then you also see that, respond kenapa pula ada repetition. Then you say that, can you remove the repetition? So that's how you keep prompting until you get what you want. But there are situations also whereby you keep prompting, it will go somewhere else. So yeah, again, sometimes you need to keep prompting until you navigate back to what you wanted. Okay. Prompting mistakes, common mistakes that we do. One line prompting. You just want it to happen. Okay, give me some suggestion to go to Korea, something like that. Okay, online prompting. Okay, no audience specific means who you wanted to address to. Okay, output format also you do not give. Okay, expecting AI to know the context. So sometimes we assume that AI will know it. Okay, not necessary. So treating AI as a Google. So we are just using it as a search lah. But when we go back to the previous screen, prompt engineering, initially you treat the AI as a Google lah. So after you question, then AI will suggest, ChatGPT will suggest to you what are the things. Then you refine. So okay, it's okay when you are not sure to start with that kind of method lah. Okay, prompt best practices. Be explicit. Okay, explicit. Give examples. Refine success. Define success. Mean what exactly you wanted to achieve lah. Iterate wherever necessary lah. And then treat prompting as a skills. Okay, prompting. It has to be a skill and not just like simply ask question, somebody answer. Okay, Google is where you ask question, uh, Google will respond. Okay, whatever you ask, but you need to think that how to ask. That's the most important. Okay, we are supposed to have some exercise. Then it's okay. We will come back to this exercise later. Okay, as we shown earlier. Okay, prompt builder will have a context, role, uh, goal, constraint, and format. Okay, and then um, okay, again, key takeaways from this will be the AI output quality depends on prompt quality, right? Okay, fine. These are closing screens. What we will do, I will share with you some of the examples. Okay, my example may not be the best, but yeah, I still have to share with you something. Then I'm just going to share some of the example on my daily work. Right. Let me see. Just give me a minute. Right. Okay. All right. This is a like kind of a live examples, when I'm communicating with people, when somebody asks me something, when I'm going to respond to them. Okay. A simple example, someone did ask me, uh, they they uh, they have this unify. Okay, unify router. I'm just giving some examples after this. I take the photo of the unify router and then pass it to. Then I instead of giving because sometimes we are very fast, we can't really sit down and think of the 5 steps of it. So you can just blindly ask a question first. Okay, from blind, then you become a precise lah. Okay. Can I reset this router to use? I would say blind. There is some level of accuracy. I didn't say who the chat GPT is also here. That's one of the mistake. Can I reset this router to use as a normal Wi-Fi access point, or it might have locked by Unify? Simple. Okay, no need to be. So then it gives the answer, yes, you reset it using a normal Wi-Fi access point. Okay, you can reset it. Okay, it is not permanently locked by Unify. So very simple response. This kind of questions, if you ask Google, you may not be getting this kind of response. Lah. Then it goes one step ahead, which I didn't ask. You are holding okay, yeah, they explaining what router is that, okay, that Unify supplies. These are custom branded, but not SIM locked or ISP locked like some old modem. Okay, one more step. Then it goes one more step. What you cannot do, okay, what you can and what you cannot do. Reset to the factory setting, use it as an access point. In other words, the short answers are being explained in detail, lah. Okay, behind another router, and then change the SSID. We can change the login password and so on. Okay, use with any other ASP. So earlier I used for Unify. I also can use it for Maxis and so on. What you cannot do is Unify fiber modem is not the SFP or ONT. So now, if I do not know what means by this, I can also prompt again. Okay, what is SFP? What is ONT? Okay, and then maybe if it's not relevant to me, I'm ignoring it lah. Replace Unify's main router for fiber authentication. Okay, so it means we cannot unify this main router for fiber authentication unless you unify. So this is something closely associated with Unify. Not really I'm not interested in this also. Then it's fine. Okay. Then also, you see, it going one more step extra. How to reset it properly. So it going giving me step by step guidelines how to do the resetting of the router. Power on the router, use a pin or paper clip at the behind of the router, then you need to click it. Okay, press and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Release when LEDs blink, wait for 2 minutes. Okay, it will revert back to the factory setting. See? All right. Then how to use it as a normal Wi-Fi access point. See, yeah, my question is this. My question is this. Okay. All right. But the response which I'll be getting is more than what I want. I didn't ask how to use it and so on. Okay, but it will be able to give. Okay, why this has happened, this evaluate is it, because when you ask a question in a simple way, um, you may still get the answer. You may still get the answer what you wanted, or even you even get more than what you asked for. Okay, so that's why. So if you ask more precisely, then even you can even get a clearer picture. So as I mentioned earlier, sometimes when you ask a question blindly, you would have got the answers just like that, as good as it is. Okay. So now it's going one more steps, how to use it as a normal Wi-Fi access point and giving me the step by step what are the things that to be done. Okay. I didn't ask for this, but it's relevant for me because maybe it already assumed that that's the next step that I'm going to ask for it. So it's up to this level. Then, of course, finally, it will also ask, just tell me how you plan to use it. So if I want to continue, I could have continued. Lah. Okay, another example, like you're going to, you can ask is, um, there's lots of new car coming in, right? A new car coming in. So you can always ask them to compare the new car and then how accurately you want it. So you want it to be in a table format, you can ask for that. You want it to be in a side by side comparison. Also, you can ask for you also want to compare the car which is less than 200,000 only. So you can specify clearly what example you wanted. Okay, all right. Of course, two ways. One is as I mentioned to you, sometimes you don't really wanted to think of the detail, context, and so on. If you couldn't think up to that level, you can always ask normal. And then when you do the refining, that's where you will fine tune it until you get the correct response. Last, okay, all right. So that is the part. So some of the exercise that we wanted to give you will be any question before we just go for a quick uh, recap of what we have learned through fast exercise. Any question you can put it over there, put it there because put it on the screen. Otherwise, we can quickly jump to exercise. Okay, just to recap whatever that we have catch up today. I think maybe everybody might be familiar with this way. Yeah, give me 1 minute. Let me start. If you have your phone with you, you can get your phone ready because you're going to scan a QR code. Just to recap what we have. Okay, just scan the screen. Just scan the QR code from my screen. Can I see anybody is in? Anybody in? Alice Tong and this Tong. That's it. Two people. So we got third one. Hillary Hugh is there. All right. Okay. This is just to recap what we have learned. Huh? Uh, I think the time is running out. You can even continue this after the session. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask on the chat box. I will try to answer. This online tool is not a time constraint, so you can continue to proceed even after the class.
All right.
If
So
there
if
is no, then I hand
anyone,
over to Adib.
yeah,
Next.
if anyone have any question, you can simply type in the chat box or maybe open your mic, straight away, ask to Mr. Rajendran if any of you have any questions regarding of this session.
So I saw their hand sign over there, and yeah, I think if there is no question, they can continue. Students can continue to do this and make an unlimited attempt until you get 100%. Okay, because when you try more, then your understanding of what we have taught you today will be better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. If since there is no question, maybe Mr. Rajendran can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I can stop the screen sharing. Right.
Right, let me share my screen. All right. For those who still are taking the quiz at the moment, just continue, or maybe you can continue after this session. Since Mr. Jinder said there is no time limit, right?
Yes, no time limit.
Yeah.
They can
Okay.
continue.
All right. All right, thank you, Mr. Rajendran, for the excellent presentation. Within this short time frame, we gain a lot of input on how to prompting better to get our desired output on AI. All right. Since
Right.
there is no further question from our participant, for those who have registered through the NTW portal, your attendance have been recorded and your status will be marked as completed within 24 hours. In the meantime, please do not withdraw your applications. To generate your certification, please complete the TE assessment on the website. As for the video recording of this session, this session is recorded and the recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel at Cell Academy Malaysia within 24 hours. Now, I will inform to you guys about at Cell Academy Public Training. If you are interested to enroll, do contact us. We have Microsoft training, Microsoft Excel basic level until advanced level, Microsoft Excel for data analytics, Microsoft Power BI, and then we have digital marketing training, digital marketing masterclass, digital marketing professionals. We also have social media marketing, AI tools training for introduction, prompt smarter for higher productivity. It's a 1 day training, ChatGPT and AI tools specifically for content creation and marketing. We have also creative tools training, Canva, AI bootcamp, and lastly, short form video mastery for mobile marketing success. All right, I think, yeah, that's basically it for today's session. Thank you all for your participation and have a great day. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Rajendran, for
Thank
today.
you. Bye bye.
All right, bye everyone.